The moon isn't real, the conspiracy that'll make you howl. Introduction. Have you ever found yourself gazing up into the night sky, wondering if the moon is actually made of cheese? Trust me, there's something even nuttier out there, the theory that the moon isn't real. Yes, you heard me right. There's a growing legion of people convinced that our celestial neighbor is nothing but an elaborate hoax. And just like that time I accidentally spilled glitter all over my keyboard, this idea is as absurd as it is captivating. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the wackiest conspiracy that suggests the moon was cooked up by the world's biggest pranksters. Imagine, if you will, a world where the moon is a mere mirage, a faux satellite conjured up to bamboozle the masses. Get your tinfoil hats ready. This promises to be a bumpy ride. NASA's secret levitating disco ball. Once upon a time, tinfoil hat enthusiasts claimed NASA built a massive disco ball and launched it into orbit to dazzle the world. The origin? A belief that moonlight is just disco ball reflections. This theory emerged in the late 1970s when disco was all the rage and John Travolta was everyone's fashion icon. Expectation: people would catch a boogie fever. Reality: no line dances broke out, but conspiracy theorists sure felt groovy. This far-fetched fantasy is like saying the sun is just a giant spotlight for Earth's vanity show. Here's a twist: disco ball or not, the moon does reflect light marvelously thanks to its dusty surface. So next time you dance under moonlight, thank Apollo, not 13, but your local DJ. Do you think you'd rock moon-themed bell-bottoms? The day the moon glitched. Believe it or not, some moon conspirators argue the moon once glitched. In 1953, an astronomer spotted a bridge on the lunar surface which disappeared later. Trigger warnings of lunar matrix. Anyone? Historical context. Overeager astronomer Rolf Bartha claimed to spot structures appearing and vanishing, convincing some Earthlings the moon is a holographic display. Expectation: people would arm themselves with webcams to catch the flicker. Reality: webcams weren't a thing then, and now no one caught it. Glitching. The dramas like suggesting sunsets or PowerPoint transitions gone rogue. Add this detail: sometimes turbulent lunar shadows are mistaken for structures, so at least our inner photography nerds get a break. Think you can capture the moon's magic self-detox? Lunar lasers and the rabbit hole of reflections. Enter stage left, one of the most sci-fi crazy aspects of moon conspiracies. Laser reflecting arrays placed by Apollo astronauts in the 60s and 70s to measure the Earth-Moon distance. Conspiracy theorists scream, "set design" at the moon's surface. Historical info. Genuine laser tests show the moon isn't a hologram since it doesn't shatter like glass when hit. Expectation: faked public panic over melted cheese moon. Reality: what's actually happening? Science: the real laser signals confirm moon presence. This situation is like calling your neighbor's pool a portal just because a life raft's there. Imagine this: lasers reflect off small arrays left by astronauts, so unless Martians are beaming, we're laser assured. Have the courage to embrace moonbeams echoing back at us? A flight bound for nowhere, the anti-moon flights. Picture this: airlines avoiding a mass of non-existent moon, with no flight zones mysteriously covering lunar pathing over Earth. Conspiracy circles breed rumors of anti-gravity waves disrupting flights, a nonsensical fact some still swear by. Hear me out. Navigation had to be recalculated after lunar orbits are now incorrectly plotted, despite flight records showing nil lunar interference. Expectation: new Bermuda Triangle chic. Reality: flight paths obey gravity, no moon-phobic pilots needed. This logic resembles wearing goggles outdoors to avoid magpies, possible, but absurdly avoidable. Consider this wacky tidbit: flight paths curve naturally earthward due to gravity, so good luck to any gravity-defying plane. Lunar landings or an Oscar-worthy production? Ah, the old classic, that the Apollo moon landings were studio magic. This rich tale cautions evidence of waving flags and suspect shadows. History tells us atmospheric and lighting limitations excite conspiracy theorists who can't accept windlessness on the moon. Expectation: awards for best space fantasy. Reality: NASA's propulsion models propelled real astronauts beyond Hollywood dreams. Compared with planting palm trees in Alaska just because it's briefly warm, that logic's nonsensical terrain. Check this: ice-sheened boot prints perfect for myth-busting. So answer me this: With all these angles, would you trust an Oscar statue with lunar secrets or hold on to rocket-tinged truths? The man on the moon, a puppeteer in cloak. For true whimsy, there are believers in the man in the moon myth, a mega marionette puppet master pulling celestial strings. Origins, ancient European folk tales glorified moonbeams morphing into moonmen. Expectation, puppet strings breaking the stratosphere. Reality, just a kaleidoscope of cozy myth-making. This idea is akin to claiming the tooth fairy runs an underground economy in glitter currency. And for the cherry on top, lunar mythmen folklore adds creative layers to our dull nighttime skies, making humanity's mythological library brighter. So if the moon's a stage, would you watch the show with cosmic popcorn? Moon dust is actually lost, stardust treats. Switching gears to cosmic pastries, imagine one. Moon dust sponge sugar believed extra-dimensional snacks. Startling delight. Historical dust, literally space regolith enriched with meteorite matter, refuses sweetening. Expectation, international sugar smuggling with celestial reach. Reality, unpalatable, falling short in taste tests. Parallels are like mistaking sandcastles for frosted cupcakes. Both won't satisfy cravings. Peculiarly, moon dust attracts ongoing study from NASA for environmental reasons, meaning it's dust we cannot ignore. Would you consider galactic savories in zero-gravity dining suites? Conclusion. From disco balls in orbit and glitching images to lunar landing questions, our love of celestial tales showcases our fixation with the peculiar. Maybe it's that, amid our pursuit for answers, we aspire for earth-shaking revelations. Humanity continues its quest through cosmos and curiosity, those bizarre threads, and much like magic, sometimes reality can outshine fiction. It seems we've navigated through some wild warp zones on this journey, doesn't it? At the end of the day, Earth's humdrums might be more phenomenal than conspiracies, just maybe. Add this to your collection of completely useless but awesome knowledge. Fact Check Corner. Wow! Did our interstellar detour dazzle you? Every nugget of logic, from lasers to regolith reality, gleams factual hues. The playful twists and shadow puppets sway more whimsy than plain truth, yet the factual laser reflection indeed accounts for moon presence. Lunar mysteries lend credence through regolith studies, and good old folklore finds root in cultural creeds. Neon arcs spotlight authentic lunar myths. Technological stardust marks our paths through enigmatic spheres. Whimsy aside, know this. Our lovable moon, more wheelhouse than wheel setup, dances truly real, so merry round its orbit, there's no missing its cosmic tune.